It's not how much you make. It's how much you keep that counts, y'all. Welcome back to the Solomon Project. What I got going on right here. Look, look. Timing is real tight. So I'm gonna eat dinner, my dinner, with you guys. I gotta keep it moving. So gotta have my dinner with me. So the prices of food haven't gone down. So I asked myself, well, what happened? What happened? Yeah, what happened? Because according to the propaganda that was out there, that so many people were repeating, day one of this administration, food prices were going to be much lower, fuel prices were going to be much lower, and neither one of the two happened. So I can purchase a meal at a truck stop, and it could very easily cost me anywhere between $14 and $17 one meal. Now, if that's the only thing I ate for the day, I'd be all right. I would be all right if it was just one meal a day. Unfortunately for me, I get hungry again the same day. So I'll eat, and then the same day, within the same 14 hours that I'm working, I get hungry again. Now, if I buy the same amount, I'm going to wind up spending on average maybe maybe $34 a day. If I eat two meals a day, yeah, that's about two, and I'm not including drinks. So if I decide to drink a soda or something, just one soda, you got to add another $253. So I'm going to eat with you guys right here, right now, because as soon as I'm done with this live, I got to keep it moving. I got another 1,000 miles to go. And right now, I'm in Oklahoma, where there's another 1,000 miles to go. I'm having me some Pusgettis. Delicious. So there's a lot going on out there. A lot of crazy stuff. And people just keep moving the goalposts. See? So today marks the beginning of a trade war. Mexico and Canada are getting a 25% increase in tariffs on top of what China already has. They're getting another 10% added to that. So what does that mean? That means the consumer, us, are going to wind up paying higher prices for goods that come from other parts of the world, or rather, goods that come from Canada, Mexico, and China. We're going to be paying more for that. If those three countries retaliate and say, "Well, we're gonna purchase less of your stuff," okay, What does that mean? That means farmers, for example. Hey, Lucy! I'm glad you made it, Lucy. It's been so long. You know, Lucy, let me tell you something right now. When I watch your videos, thank you. When I watch your videos and I look at your face, I think of one of the most beautiful things in the world. I think of plátanos, you know. I think of mango with butter. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you caught me too, because now I'm thinking about plátano now that you're here. It's amazing. Thank you for that, Lucy. Brings back memories. Yo, mango in the morning. Oh snap! See, if you didn't come in here, I would have forgotten about the red onions. I'm serious. I would have forgotten about the onions. As important as those red. Oh, listen, them red onions give it. Oh, all right. Let me change it a little bit because if the red onions are going on, I'm not gonna put butter. Butter. I'm not putting butter on there. I'm gonna use olive oil. All right. Straight up. That's just me though. I mean, I'm not hating because I know well under poor circumstances. Um, you're not gonna put either butter or olive oil in your mango. If you got okay, all right. I gotta put butter. It's gotta be butter with the red onions. You're telling me I gotta put butter. Oh, and a splash of milk. See, I ain't never put a splash of milk in there. I ain't never done that. Not me. I never. I can't remember watching my mom prepare the mango. She could have snuck in some milk in there, and I wouldn't have known it. Oh, damn. See, you're one of those, right? You put everything in there. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, see the secrets. Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you right now. I've been to some restaurants. I guess they don't keep it soft. I guess they're not adding those ingredients because I've had incidences where I've stuck my plastic fork into a mango, and like one of the teeth from the fork breaks off. Yeah, they ain't they ain't adding the milk or anything. I think it's dry as hell. But that's amazing, Lucy, man. Oh. The main ingredients. Here we go. What is it? Plátano water, splash of milk and butter, and the juice of the vinegar onions. See, that's what I'm talking about. The onions, man. The onions on the mango. Listen, yeah, okay. All day? It'll keep it soft all day like that? Oh, okay. So these restaurants are cutting costs. Okay, I think I understand now. They're trying to lower their operating costs because that mango be looking crusty after a while. Straight up. So they're trying to save money because they got that mango out there, man. Yo, looking hurt, looking like they took a pay cut or something. The mango? What? Don't play with me, man. When I go up in there and I want the onions, I want the fried egg, and I don't like the soft yolk. I don't like that. I like my yolk firm. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what's going on? Because it's probably because of where they're coming from. They're coming from a longer distance, and they put the plátano through a process. I've picked up plátano off the off the shipping docks. Oh, Brandon! Oh, you don't like the hard yolk? Oh, you want the soft yolk? Okay, you wanna mix it up then. You wanna mix up the yolk with the. Okay, I got you. I got you. Yeah, Brandon, we're doing good, man. Is this too late or is this what is this? I know you were doing something. But I'm gonna tell you, Lucy. I think they're being transferred. Plantains. I know they make them go through a process where they use, I forget what gas it is. Yeah, it's earlier over here in Oklahoma. I don't know. I'll tell you what time is it right now. Over here in Oklahoma, it's 9:11 right now. Cool, Brandon. Cool. So they add some kind of gas. I don't know what gas it is, but they add a gas to it, kind of to slow down the process of it ripening. Exactly. I think it's that process that they use. That way, it could maintain itself as preserved as possible, so that when it arrives, comes off the ship, when we pick it up in reefers. Right? Exactly, Brandon. Tostones are made with plantains. So when they come off the ship, when we pick it up in a refrigerated trailer, and we have to keep the temperature at, I don't know, like 60 degrees or something like that. I don't remember, but it's something like that. You got to maintain that temperature throughout the transport. And if I'm not mistaken, right, exactly. If I'm not mistaken, that process with the gas and the temperature, it ripens it, but it stays like it doesn't ripen all the way through. That way it can sit at the supermarket longer without it going without it over ripening. I'll tell you, these people in the in the agricultural industry, they got so many tricks. I don't think the average person is aware. When I travel throughout the nation, I travel across farms and I'll see these little signs that are posted right along the edge of the farm with the different types of companies that provide them with insecticides, fertilizer, whatever. You typically, no bueno, that's right. You typically see that on these big commercial farms. You'll see those signs. If they have livestock, oh, can you see that? Pusgettis. I'm eating pusgettis. Am I loud when I chew? I'm not trying to be. Got these little breadsticks too. Banging flavor. But you got to be careful with all this stuff. process that our food go through could be damaging to the body. And as expensive as healthcare is, you want to prevent stuff. That's what you want to do. You want to prevent stuff. And to prevent stuff, it's going to cost you more money because you got to buy foods, vegetables, whatever that have much less chemical process. Hmm. That's the truth. It's funny because one of the ingredients that are used a lot in foods, and when that ingredient came on, there was an unusual increase. If you were to look at a graph, you will see an unusual spike in the number of cancer cases when that ingredient first started coming out. That's high fructose corn syrup. Slowly, yeah. But you know who that works out for, right? The pharmaceutical industry. They love that. I don't remember what year. That's right, Michelle. How you doing? Is it ever healthy or fresh? If it's being mass produced, I don't think so. Not if it's being mass produced, like on these commercial farms, these huge commercial farms. I don't think so. Yeah, the pharmaceutical loves it. The chemical, petrochemical industry, they provide the chemicals to taint the food that the pharmaceutical industry will make a profit off of. Because the approach is, if you don't make it your business to prevent stuff and you wind up becoming chemically dependent on staying alive, well, they're going to provide it for you. And then it comes down to whether or not you're making the type of money to be able to keep yourself alive as long as you can. So I love talking about money because those are one of the things that makes a difference when it comes to how much money you have. There are three things off the top of my head. Three things. Number one is justice. The more money you have, the more justice you buy. It's an unfortunate truth, but that's the way it is. If you want the best lawyer to defend you for some false accusation or whatever, you're gonna need money, a lot of money. Healthcare. In order for you to have the best healthcare, you're gonna need to afford the best prevention because you don't want to wind up getting hooked on all these medications, man. A lot of these medications do more harm than good. And education is another one. The best education costs more money. We all pay medication. I mean, we all pay for education through the taxation. But you want that private school education, you got to have that private school money. That ain't cheap. You got some private schools that cost as much as a college education. All right, Lucy, stay fresh. Keep frying those plátanos, all right? It's all money scam. Give us all unhealthy foods that make us pay for meds to balance things out. Yeah, yeah, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna put out money to balance things out. Unless you prevent. And to prevent, you're gonna need money for that too. If you want wholesome foods and stuff like that,
Anyhow.
you got to come out the pocket.
Oh,
What up, Brandon?
hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. I'm tearing up some Paschettis.
Some Paschettis. That's what I made for the staff today. Is big ziti's.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I
And
heard what you were saying about putting gas on the plants. They do that with tomatoes to ripen them, actually, and they use nitrogen gas on them. And for some reason, it has a chemical reaction that makes them ripen faster.
yeah, yeah. You want to be able
Probably.
to time. You want to time when they ripen, so that when they arrive to the store, it's not ripe just yet, but it
They
looks
don't.
good. Looks good to the eyes. But you want
And
to
it's
make
not
sure they
bruised.
ripen as soon as they get to the person's house.
Also, they're not bruised as easily during shipping, as well.
Yep. It's a process, and I don't think most people understand that.
Yeah, agriculture is a big process, which is what I'm interested to see if he's gonna deport all of our farm workers out when everybody starts paying $10 for an orange.
Well, that and the tariffs.
Yeah, because half of our produce comes from Mexico. In the off
Mm-hmm.
season. So yeah,
But it's
it's
going to be
something.
interesting.
It will be. Will be interesting. That's one way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens. We'll see how it unfolds.
Let's see.
Yeah. So how you doing tonight?
I'm doing very good, man.
Good.
I'm ready for that question. That question you asked me on that other video, on that short.
Oh, about the way that they charge if they can't track the
The
driver. If
driver.
they can't
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if that happens, I'm assuming that if that happens frequently with a specific driver, he turns his cell phone off or whatever. Max, no. Sorry, the dog decides that he's gonna be playing.
Yeah.
They'll probably end up getting rid of you, huh?
No. Well, they might give you a hard time because there are plenty of times that I didn't answer a broker's call. Plenty of times.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, a lot of these brokers are sitting behind a desk. They work a particular shift, and maybe while they're sitting there, they think that The drivers work shifts also, just like they do,
Yeah.
but we don't. We drive at a variety of hours during the day. Like right now, as soon as I'm done with this live, I'm gonna start driving. I'll be driving throughout the night.
It's easier to
I,
drive at night, isn't it?
much easier.
I enjoyed driving at night. Like when I had to go travel, I would
Hmm.
I would leave my house at 9 o'clock, 9 p.m., you know, in Florida. If I had to get to like Michigan. I try to time it so that I was beating like Jacksonville before the morning rush hour and
There you go. That's one of the
you
main
know,
things. Beating those rush hours. Yeah.
yeah, in New York City and stuff like that. That's how I would time it. If I had to just sit at a rest stop and take a nap or something for a little bit, then I'd do that, you
Yeah.
know.
And another thing is sharing the road with cars can be very difficult because most people they don't understand what a truck's limitations are.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it.
So,
You pull right out in front and yeah.
or they might be trying to get on the highway, but the truck is so large. You're looking at the truck while you're trying to get in, but you don't see what's on the other side. You would want the truck driver to move lanes, move one lane over so they can get in, but you can't see what's on the other side of that truck. There could be a car, there could be another truck.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right, Michelle. They don't stop or turn on a dime. They don't. And sometimes these people driving cars, they'll do something maliciously against a driver, a truck driver, and don't realize that everybody behind that truck is going to pay the price for that. Like if you give a truck a brake job and they have to hit their brakes and slow down a lot, everybody behind that truck, they're going to have to slow down and wait for that truck to pick up speed again. So these people who are giving these truck drivers brake jobs, they're not considering the people behind the truck. Now on the left lane, if you're on a 2-lane road, on the left lane, there could be a consistent amount of traffic flowing, and there's not that you may not see a gap for a long time before you can get out from behind that truck that just received a brake job to go over into the left lane and continue on your way at a decent flow. So when those drivers want to do something malicious to a truck driver and give them a brake job and cause them to stop, they're not thinking about the people behind the truck driver. And they're doing it out of spite because the driver didn't do what they wanted them to do. But they don't understand because they don't understand the limitations. Look, right now I can have a load. I got to see the load, so I know it's not that way, but it could be a very tall load. The taller the load, the higher the center of gravity. So I can't just jerk my truck to the left or the right to accommodate somebody because I could roll
Mhm.
over and crush some people.
Yeah.
I seen a truck jackknife on a highway trying to turn and not hit a car that pulled in front of the truck. Yeah.
Well, people are
Yeah,
just
yeah, Midnight
generally
Grower.
inconsiderate, especially in Florida.
Yeah, Midnight Grower. That's not unusual. That happens. That happens to us truck drivers a lot. We encounter a lot of people that obviously don't understand the limitations that a truck has, and they'll get upset and do something and cause an accident. You know, the vast majorities of accidents between cars and trucks, I think it's something like 88% or something like that of those accidents are actually caused by cars, not trucks. But you know who gets the blame, right? You know it's the
Yeah.
trucker that gets the blame. And yeah, we just can't like in inclement weather.
Yeah, especially when you got frozen roads and shit like that going on.
Or even when there's a downpour, like the first few minutes of a downpour, extremely dangerous because that's when enough water is hitting that ground to lift up
Yes.
all the oils from all the vehicles that travel on the road, and it's as slick as driving on ice. And people will do stuff and oof, exactly the fresh oils. Oils, yeah. When a truck,
So I
depending
wonder,
on the type of uh-huh. Go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, I wonder if Mrs. Helms is gonna join in tonight
Mm,
because she's been posting a few things.
yeah, she has. She's some of the stuff that she has posted gives me the impression that I guess some people in her immediate vicinity are being extremely negative.
Do you mean her on her channel or just in life in general?
In life, it could be at her job site, it could be,
Mm,
but she didn't
all right.
specify, but
Yeah, yeah, no, I got you.
it sounds to me like there's some brown nosing going on and they're trying to throw her under the bus or something.
Oh yeah.
That could be
I've worked
extremely frustrating.
yeah, I've worked in places like that. I worked in places where the general manager was a professional bus thrower under, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
And for
looking to score points. Looking to
15
score
years she
points
got
at other
away
people.
with it. 15 years
Looking to
she got away with it. You know?
Hey, Homestead. What's up, y'alls?
Hey Homestead, I was just watching some of your videos. It's pretty cool.
Homestead does everything. She does animal care, plant
I didn't
care.
see I didn't see the animals, but I saw the videos that she did where she was pulling the plants in for the freeze. And
Yeah,
then the
she
one
won't
she
show.
posted today where she was pulling back out.
Yeah, she won't show the animals. She doesn't have permission to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the haters at work. Exactly. Haters, straight up haters, or brown nosers. People who just wanna go move up the ladder at somebody else's expense.
Yeah, people that step on people on their way up. Make everybody
There's a
else look bad so that they can look good to try to make themselves look good. But
On my way to work, I saw a bumper sticker that said it all. Once I saw that bumper sticker, it's like the world opened up. The bumper sticker said, "Be careful whose toes you step on as you're climbing to the top, because they might be attached to the ass you'll be kissing on the way down." Woo!
that's true. Well, we got a
Yeah.
saying in the kitchen, you know, you always give
Hmm.
everybody respect because even the dishwasher one day might be your boss, you know?
Hmm.
And that's the truth. The kid that I taught, well, I call him a kid. I mean, he's almost 30 now, but I knew him since he was 16. He's the chef I work with is his son. And I taught him how to flip eggs and do things like that. And I talked to you guys about it before. He ended up becoming the executive sous chef. He became my boss.
Okay.
You know.
Hey, Michelle. Good night. Stay fresh out there. Stay fresh.
Have a good
Keep it
night,
moist
Michelle.
and profitable. Like Duncan Hines. It's I can understand a person that's competitive and might want to try to outshine you. But like between you and that person, not going over to management to try to make you look less than, because that would be
Exactly.
different. That would be different.
Exactly. You mean you could someone can point out. I mean, there's a guy that specifically that works at our place, and he just is. That's what he does. Is he goes around and he just reports on it. Basically, reports to the boss about every little thing that's going on or happening. We call him the town crier.
The town crier, yeah, he's a bootlicker.
However, it doesn't. Everybody knows 9 times out of 10 he's full of shit. We can't believe what he says. So,
but
nobody
management may not believe everything he says either, but they'll use that as leverage against you, because that's what they'll see it as. They'll see it as leverage.
My case is a little bit different because I've been there 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
We all pretty well know each other intimately.
Mm-hmm.
They know, like, for instance, I'm a very even-tempered guy. And it really, really takes a lot for me to lose my nerve and start getting ready to snap at somebody.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how intense, no matter how stressful the situation goes, I'm still a pretty laid-back guy, you know. So the other night, a couple of the new waiters kept moving. It was a very busy night, and they kept moving my plates around when I'm trying to tray up stuff to send out, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, you guys cannot be touching the trays. I'm not angry, but I'm getting
frustrated.
Curt. I'm getting curt. And when it gets to the point where I'm not being polite anymore and I'm being curt, my chef he took over, and he was working on another station, but he just screamed over, and he was like, nobody touches the trays except for Brandon until they're ready to go. Yeah. And then I heard him talking to the general manager, and he says, yeah, I know when Brandon's about to lose it, I know I got to get involved, because I usually
but he knows you.
I got a long fuse, but when that fuse starts going, it's like, you know, he knows he doesn't want to see me.
But he knows you, and he knows how to work with you. He didn't go running to he didn't go running to make you look bad, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, Homestead. It seems like all the lazy people get those kinds of positions. Yeah, they do. They do. That's why a lot of them, a lot of those brown noses are trying to evade their work. They're trying to lessen the amount of work that they do.
Oh,
so what do? They make themselves out to be more important than the job description. So they go running to management, hanging out with management, trying to get management to give them some other task where they're doing less.
I can give you an example of what this guy did, which is funny. It was his job to do the employee staff meal, because the normal chef that does the staff meal was gone for the day. And he asked me, he says, hey, can you do me a favor? Do you have time to slice the roast beef? Like into, I said, yeah, no problem. Yeah. So I said, yeah, no problem. I could do that. And as I'm slicing it for him, taking time out of what I got to do, he's sitting there leaning, chatting with somebody. And I'm looking over, and I look over at one of my other coworkers, and I'm like, this guy asked me for help, and he's sitting over here leaning on the thing, talking to somebody. I said, this is the last time I'm ever, and that was the last time I ever. Next time he asked me, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, I got shit I got to do, man. I can't help you, because that's what his little plan was. He'd go ask this person to do this person to do that, this person to do, and he'd ask everybody in the kitchen. We work in a big kitchen. That's 20 people to do one little thing. And now he didn't have to do shit for the entire day,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So.
What did it say? Yeah. Homestead knows. Come on now. Best friends with management. Yeah, see? So, okay. But let me tell you something. With management, I was always I used to have good rapport with management until that day, and it never fails. until the day they want me to do something that's, I don't know, that's not cool. That's not cool. Nah, and I think it got worse for me than somebody who just kept their distance, because I guess with the rapport that I established with them, that rapport gave them expectations that I wasn't going to follow, but because others in the past have followed, maybe I could have easily have been confused with a bootlicker, because I treated the management like I treated my coworkers, like I treated anybody.
Yeah.
And I guess previous relationships that they've had with people that they supervised, with their subordinates, led up to that kind of bootlicker uh relationship. But I wouldn't snitch on anybody. No, they come up real smooth. Hey, how you doing? Yeah,
Yeah.
did you see that? That was crazy,
Classic
right?
man.
Yeah, that was
Classic.
crazy. Hey, how's Brandon been? What do you mean? I don't know. You see anything strange with Brandon?
Yeah.
Uh, his haircut. Ah, no, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. You know what I mean, right? You know what I mean? What, you seen him? No, Brandon. Yeah, but we heard that Brandon was doing something. Oh, you did? You heard that? Well, listen.
He was using the company
Now,
van to pick up hookers.
now you got me. Now you got me curious. Uh, but I don't know how I'm going to come across this information. But if you do, please. Now I'm curious. Oh no, never mind. We thought we thought you knew what Brandon was doing and stuff. But what
Oh
was it?
yeah, they do.
Oh no, it's not. Oh, okay.
They
Even
do.
though I do know that Brandon's out there with the company van picking up hookers, even though I do, but I'm not just gonna put him out there like that. And after a while, management gets it. You know, oh, he's cool, but he's not gonna provide the
Yeah,
information
yeah,
that we need. Okay, so that he's not
yeah,
that
yeah.
cool anymore. You kind of you lose some of that cool status with management.
Whenever a manager never talks to you when you're working there on a conversational level or just in a general personal level, hey, how you doing? Hey, how are your kids
What up,
doing?
John?
And then all of a sudden they just walk in and, hey, how you doing today? They're fishing for something right away because you can
Listen,
tell people are just, you know, I don't know. To me, I can
now,
generally read people pretty good. So,
eh,
hey, John.
what do you call it? At my job, we're on camera all day long, video and audio, and they're watching and listening. I stay busy. All right, yeah. I mean, that's how you got to do. Keep it. So they got their own mechanisms for revealing what's going on. John, what's up, man? They got their own mechanisms for revealing what it is that you're doing. So they don't really need that snitch unless they want to find out what you're doing after work,
Yeah,
on your
yeah,
way
outside.
home, or on your way to
Yeah.
work.
Well, we've
But I'm
got
gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Now you really got to be careful about the people around you. Now more than
mhm,
ever. Now more than ever.
yeah.
I don't think I need to spell out the reason why, but
No, yeah. Well, a lot of people do. Yeah, yeah. You're 100%. man, it's unfortunate. Yeah. Anyways, hey John. Oh, what I wanted to ask, Cook It Up Homestead. What's your profession, if I can ask? I was curious about that. 'Cause I see that you're doing the plants and stuff. I do a lot of plants and things at my house too. And I was curious as to what you're gonna do with the mango tree. If you're
Oh
gonna
man, that's
plant it.
personal. That's personal, man. I don't know.
Is it? Well, I
The
don't know.
mango?
I grew trees when I rented property, but I didn't plant them because I didn't want to. If I had to leave the property, I didn't want to leave my tree, you know? But at the same time, a mango tree you can't keep in a pot for very long, you know?
You got to get it out, huh?
It's eventually going to need to get in the ground, yeah. Those
Oh,
suckers grow big.
snap. I forgot to put my crown on, man.
Oh, pop it
Yeah, I'm the
on.
king. Oh, snap.
Oh, you're a nurse. Awesome.
I've been watching things about the
Veterinarian.
LA fires, and God bless the ones who
Veterinarian.
went through the fires. But a lot of people think it was way more than what we think. Yeah, John. But I was gonna do a video on this. I might as well mention it now. You know, if you're gonna move, like let's say you live in the Northeast or the Midwest. If you want to move to shit, there goes my crown. All right, so if you want to move somewhere, it might be a good idea for you to find out what type of natural disasters occur, because I've thought about moving to like Arkansas, Oklahoma, something like that, northern Texas.
Tornado
But
country.
what that's Tornado Alley.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, I mean, you got to be aware of stuff like that. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. There are plenty of people that don't believe in global warming, right? They don't believe it. They think it's nonsense. They think it's all political, that it's all,
I don't know about those people. I don't trust those people.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's the thing, and because it has to do with money, I'll bring it up. That's my favorite. Actually, I don't know if I can classify that as my favorite conversation, but I speak about it enough.
That's one of your favorite topics.
Yeah.
That's one
So
of your favorite topics.
because it has to do with money, and because I'm always talking, don't try not to get caught up in the marketing. Stay away from the propaganda.
Yeah.
You got to see things for what you're. When you're an investor, if you want to prosper and invest, and if you want to prosper and have a business, you have to be realistic. You got to see things for what they are. You can't get wrapped up in the marketing. You as a business person can use marketing all day, every day, because the bulk of your money is going to come in because of marketing. It's a listen, marketing, these corporations spend billions on marketing every year. Matter of fact, I'm going to find it right now. Before I get to my point, I'm going to look for it right now. How much do corporations spend on marketing? Spent on marketing. Here it comes. Ready? Check this out. Okay, I don't see an amount, but what I do see is that somewhere between 9.1% and 10.4% of the revenue that a corporation generates. No. That's what they spend on marketing. Somewhere between 9.1 and 10% and 10.4%. But I'm looking, I'm trying to see a number, a price. And right about now I can't find it.
Homestead's been working for her clinic for 25 years. That's awesome.
That's a lifetime right there.
Yeah. Well, I've been at my club working in the kitchen for 20. But it's you know everybody there, don't you? Probably a little too much in some cases. Oh, her internet keeps cutting out.
What?
I thought you were frozen for a minute. You were just deep in thought. Sorry.
Who's that me?
No, I just saw you. You were moving. I thought, oh no.
I'm trying to find the amount. They're just giving me percentages of how much the corporations, what percent of their revenue goes toward marketing, but I don't see the amount. So I'm gonna have to phrase the question a little differently.
They probably won't advertise that though, you know?
No, they do.
Yeah. Hook it up. I was just congratulating you on your 25 years of working, you know, the same in the clinic. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is
John, have you ever actually experienced a tornado? Because I've got a tornado experience.
can't find it. But I remember it being something like $400 billion or something like that.
It's insane
Crazy
how
amount.
much they do just for marketing, just to get more money, or just to get more, how much they spend to try to make more.
So let me make sure I remember what the hell I was talking about that led me to that. So was that?
I said we could back it up. That's
Just
a great thing about YouTube. Yeah.
Okay. So with the amount of money that's spent to get in your head to make you cough up money, there's one industry that looks at data about the climate, and I can't really say if they believe that global warming exists or not, but with the data that they get, they make decisions that impacts people's pockets substantially.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, the states of Florida and California are having a serious issue because of this industry, which looks at the data regarding weather and climate and things like that.
Natural disasters, etc.
All that.
That's why insurance is going through the freaking roof. And insurance companies are dropping Florida after these last two hurricanes that we had.
That's it.
It's crazy. And I think California is about to go through the same thing. You know?
They are going through the same thing.
Yep.
You see, they okay. So that's an example of of being in business and not getting wrapped up in propaganda. The insurance companies have to see things for what they are. They have to make money. It's a business. That's what people are in business for.
Yeah, yeah.
So a lot of insurance companies fled Florida. They also fled California.
Yeah.
California because of the flooding and the fires, and Florida because of the hurricanes.
Yep.
So there used to be insurance before. What's going on? Why are they fleeing? Are they seeing? Well, according to the insurers, the insurance companies, they see a pattern in the weather changes that are not good for them. So, as an investor and a trader, I don't really encourage the trading aspect of what I do, but the investing, absolutely. You have to be realistic. You'd be surprised as to how many of these representatives and senators invest in companies. And if you listen to the way they talk, if you listen to the things that they say they do, you would never think that they were investing the way they were. You would never think that. But they are profiting. And we're not talking about just one side of the fence, both sides of the fence.
Well,
Both
yeah.
sides of the fence.
Everybody's interested in their own gains. That's the bottom line.
Well, the thing is that they're getting their gains through investing. Now, see, the thing is that with senators and representatives and people in politics, especially at the national level, they can engage in something that any one of us would go to prison for, which is insider trading.
Mm-hmm.
They engage in that all day, every day. That's like going to the racetrack and
Drugging the horse.
the person who's rigging the actual race is telling you, listen, we just
I'm
rigged it
drugging
for
it.
this horse to win.
Yep. We just drug the other horses.
Yep. And that's what goes on in I mean, think about it. And there's like a handful of politicians that don't engage in this stuff. But it's a very small group. None of which are in the Republican Party, but they're on the Democratic side. It's only a small. It's a tiny group.
You
Tiny.
can't say that. That's a broad statement. You shouldn't say that.
That's an accurate statement.
It's still a little broad. I'm
It
not
sounds
saying
broad, but it's accurate.
I'm not saying I don't disagree with you. I'm not saying I disagree with you, but I'm just saying that's kind of a broad statement.
Well,
so
people
I tend to
look it up.
I tend to hold my broad statements.
I'll give you an example. Marjorie Taylor Greene, for example. The consensus amongst both parties is that she's a nut job, but that nut job is getting paid.
Yeah,
through her investments.
Well, not only that, but by you and me too.
No, she's getting paid by her invest. See, the thing is that these people are making much more than what their salaries are, but that's because they're investing in the stock market because they have insider information. How do they go about getting insider information? Well, lobbyists and the fact that you as a representative and as a senator, you got to vote for regulations and a bunch of other stuff that impact corporations. And you know how a corporation is going to get impacted through whatever regulation is passed.
Yeah.
So you'll know what stocks to buy, what stocks to sell, when to buy, when to sell. You're going to know all that stuff that you and I are not going to know. You're not going to know until it comes out on a major publication.
Well, you can kind of know when they say, "Hey, we're going to open up the natural land so that we can do some more drilling for oil."
That's speculation. That's speculation. But the fact that you know which company is going to get their license to do that first,
Yeah. I gotcha.
that information is what's going to lead you to buy when
Yeah.
nobody's going to know
Of
until
course.
the day of. Until the day of. That's insider trading.
Yes, sir.
As a broker, for example, if I'm in a restaurant and you got some CEOs in that same restaurant, let's say I'm in Wall Street having lunch, could be having lunch with a friend, whatever. But if they conduct an investigation, if the Securities and Exchange Commission, FINRA, conducts an investigation wanting to know why I chose to buy 100,000 shares of a particular company, they will check to see, because you work in the area, they will check to see where you were dining, where you were eating. Oh,
Oh, they get that intense. They get that intense in the
what
investigation.
a coincidence! The CEO from the very company that he bought 100,000 shares of happened to have been eating at that restaurant the day prior to him purchasing all those shares. And let's see where he was sitting. You got cameras? Let's see where he was sitting. Oh, he's close enough that he's within earshot of a conversation. Oh, that's when they pull you in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're jammed up. You're in trouble. Because that's insider trading.
Yeah.
But you cannot make a see. Martha Stewart got in trouble, and I'll explain why.
Oh, please do, because I never fully understood why she had to do her prison time.
Okay, she went to prison for insider trading.
Yep.
If she were a senator or a representative or president or something, she wouldn't do a day. She would not do a day of prison. But because she's not a politician, she's going to prison. Here's how it happened.
Yeah.
Her broker purchased a whole bunch of shares of a company that had that had some medication that was waiting on FDA approval. Follow me so far?
Yep.
So you're waiting. Her broker found out before the information was disseminated to the public. That's key right there.
Uh-huh.
Before the information was disseminated to the public, he found out that this medication was not going to be approved and therefore started selling large sums of shares
Just dropping it. Yeah.
just prior to the information coming out. That sends off red flags.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Why are you suddenly selling just before the announcement? So you bought it. You made a big deal about the fact that you're buying this. What does that do?
Drives it up.
It drives it up because people are listening that what? Wait a minute. Who? From what firm? He represents who? And he's buying all the how many shares? Whoa! People start hopping on the bandwagon, driving the price up.
Well, so it was her broker that was actually doing it, then not her.
But he was getting the okay from her.
Oh, gotcha.
See, they know they discovered that they were in communications, either through their
Gotcha.
emails or whatever.
I was
They,
gonna say, because if I now let me ask you another question. Let's just say that that wasn't the case. Let's just say that her broker was doing it. He did it, and he's got full control over her portfolio, whatever. And he starts doing all these changes and
she
stuff
doesn't
like
she
that.
doesn't she doesn't go to jail. She doesn't go to jail.
Okay, so that's what I was saying. That's what I was getting at. Is
No,
if
they
it's
found evidence. They found evidence that she knew and gave the okay.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then, in other
So
words, when I get with a broker and he's hot and he's doing whatever, I just say, "Do what you got to do. I don't want to know nothing," and then I'm safe.
so long as there's evidence that shows that, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. But
Hmm.
that wasn't the case here
Okay. Well, that's all right.
because
Now you being a former jailer, what
and
kind of
broker
treatment do you? What's that?
and broker.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you be,
Yeah,
you
I
being
used
a
to be a
former
stockbroker.
jailer. What kind of treatment do you think that she was getting in there? Do you think she was getting like the first class? What do you think? The
No, she wasn't getting first class anything. She was
Citizen General Pop?
general pop. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
general
interesting.
pop. The question is, I don't know where she was. I don't know where she was.
Serving her time?
Yeah, I don't know where. I don't think it was a high level facility. It might have been like a low level facility, which is
A minimum security
yeah,
situation?
minimum security. Yeah, because she wasn't serving a whole lot of time, and it was a white collar crime. So I don't think she was serving in any hardcore facility. I would have to look that up.
I'm looking it up right now.
I I I worked at a facility that had a couple of high profile individuals like Skakel, Kennedy's cousin. He
What
was
state?
Connecticut. He was there for
Connecticut.
murder. Yeah.
Um, Alderson, West Virginia.
That's a
Alderson, West Virginia.
I think that's
That's
a
where she
federal
is.
facility. I think that's a federal minimum.
Okay. She avoided a loss of $45,000 by selling 4,000 shares. I'm rounding it up.
For
That's about it.
$45,000, you're gonna do time for $45,000.
Yep. And she's making what, millions?
It doesn't say what
No,
level
I mean, I'm
facility
just
that is.
saying her in general. She's making millions.
Yeah, but it doesn't say what level the facility is.
Um, Let me look it up. Martha Stewart, Wikipedia. Let's see. It says Alderson, West Virginia. Let's just copy that and then copy, paste. Uh, it's a jail and prison. It's a federal prison.
Right, but what level is it?
It
Does it say?
doesn't say. It doesn't say. Federal prison camp. Alderson. All right, in Wikipedia. It's a minimum security prison for female
Yeah,
inmates.
there it is. Minimum security.
Yep. So they
There it
have
is.
tea time. They have tea time and crumpets.
Well, here's the thing: the minimum security facilities are funny places because You'll have
Did you
people
work?
there.
May I ask you? Did you work in a state or a federal when you were working?
State.
Okay. All right.
So
So go
with
continue.
minimum facilities are odd places because in minimum facilities, oh, I gotta change that banner. In minimum facilities, in minimum facilities, you have
Mm,
people that are coming off of long sentences. So they might have been up in a level 4, which level 4 facilities in the Fed are extremely dangerous. And they might be coming down off their sentence. And they might be there might be one or two personalities that really don't care. And
if they're
if
in real,
for some reason you're
wrong place at the wrong time.
that could be it for you, even though you're
Yep.
in there for like 8 months or whatever.
Yeah.
So just because it's a minimum facility doesn't mean you can let your guard down. Still got to be careful.
Well, in life, that's general in life. You know.
Well, prison is a little different because you got nowhere to run. You got
Yeah.
nowhere to run, and everything is on a schedule. So there's no detour, and you can't take one street as opposed to another, one road as opposed to another. No.
You can't. You keep. Well, no. The difference is you can't avoid conflict. You got to deal with it. In life, there's ways to avoid conflict. When you're in jail, generally you've got to deal with the conflict one way or another.
Some
You
place
know.
to go. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. You can't. That's one of the stressors of being in an environment where you're detained.
But in general, when you in
For
life,
example,
when you
right now, you get into a conflict with somebody at a bar. You don't have to keep going to that bar.
exactly,
You don't have to keep going to that bar.
exactly.
But not in prison. If you got a problem with somebody, where are you gonna go?
Exactly. No, I got you. I've got you. I'm just saying, in general, of my life, I've kind of hit my conflicts direct on. I mean, I'm not all of them. Don't get me wrong. If it was something stupid that I said, you know what, this guy's a fucking asshole. He's making a stupid comment. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end up getting a fist fight with him in the gas station, and one of us is going to jail. Yeah, I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna,
And
avoid
when
that.
you walk away, do you have to go to the same fuel station to fuel
Exactly.
up?
Exactly. That's
You
my
got a
point.
variety of places you could go. Now,
Yeah.
where it would get stickier is in the workplace. In the workplace, that might be a little more complicated. You might need some intervention. You might,
Yeah. Yeah.
but in prison, if you ask for intervention by a staff member,
That's yeah.
you're in
That's not a
detention
good thing.
and you're in trouble. You're in even worse situation than you were before,
Now you got to get under
and you got nowhere
protective
to,
custody if you want. you know. No.
and
No.
even in,
Yeah.
and even in what do you call that? When they separate you from Gen Pop, even then you could still get targeted.
Yeah. With
You could still get
Epstein.
targeted.
Epstein. Look at him.
Well, before we
Wasn't
get
he?
into Epstein,
Wasn't he removed? He was removed from General Pop, and he ended up. I don't know
yeah, in a
about that.
box, in a
That's a
box.
fishy situation. Yeah, that's a
Listen, I
fishy
could tell you,
situation.
I could tell you right now that was a hit job. That was a hit job,
I
and
agree.
staff was involved. The staff knew. Okay,
I agree
staff
with
knew.
you on that one. I agree with you on that one.
The dude was super high profile. When you're a local and you're high profile, all right. Let's say let's say you did something crazy in your town and you hit the papers. What you did hit the papers in your town. That's it. Once you get locked up, you're high profile. This guy is an international high profile. You can
Yeah.
imagine how much more. So no, yeah, no, it's crazy. If you're high
There's
profile, if you're high
yeah.
profile, you're going to be under observation 15. You're going to have rounds every 15 minutes, and that's just the officer. I'm
Yeah.
not including when the nurses have to come through, when the psychiatrists have to come through, when the lieutenant has to come through, when the captain has to come through, when the warden has to come through.
Yeah.
You're on
Yeah.
the constant watch, constant. Even on third shift, the warden ain't gonna be there. The deputy warden ain't
And
gonna
they
be
got
there.
three
But
shifts? I just assumed they had two. They had a day and a night.
no, they
They
got
got three
three
shifts?
shifts. Three
What are
shifts.
the hours for the shifts, if you don't mind
First,
me
second, and
asking?
third shift. First, second, and third shift. First shift starts
What
at 8. Second shift starts at 4, and third shift starts at midnight.
midnight to 8, 8 to 4,
And 4 to 12.
more to midnight. Okay.
Or it could shift 1 hour earlier.
Give or
7 to
take.
3, 3 to 11,
Yeah,
11 to
yeah.
7.
Okay. See,
But
like
even on third shift,
you would
when
think
everybody's uh-huh.
you would think that they would stagger them a little bit. Like 5 guys start from 7 to 3. 5 guys start from 8 to 4. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
so that everybody's in the know and you're not just getting a whole general shift change. You know what I mean? Where the whole place is getting removed and put. If I was going to design a prison, that's how I would do it. Just so that, you know,
No matter
everybody could
what you
keep it on.
do, no matter what you do, the inmates figure it out.
Yeah.
I remember I'm in a maximum facility. This guy's doing life, and he's telling me what car I drive.
And he can't even see the outside.
And he's telling me what car I drive.
Yep.
These people
That's
are
crazy.
extremely resourceful, very observant,
Hmm.
and it's psychological warfare more so than anything else in there. Psychological warfare.
They got nothing else to do, man. You know?
Yeah.
They literally have nothing else to do except for
Vegan,
keep
my
them on.
brother. No, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Bill.
Homestead. She's laughing. Listen, in that environment, there are things going on. People speaking code.
Oh yeah. And part of your
Burpee
job
King.
is
Hold on, I'm the king.
figuring that out. There it goes. The crown back on.
Got the crown on. Burpee King. There we go. I'm Burpee King. So that's a highly stressful environment. Highly stressful.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's
Well,
ridiculous.
it can switch in a the drop of a hat. It can switch to a normal conversation to a full out freaking murder attempt or something
I,
like that.
I gotta give up. I gotta give up the profile.
Where'd you get your crown?
At Burger, not Burger King. Where did Burpee King?
Burpee King. I've never even heard of that. Where's that located? You said you were in Oklahoma?
Yeah. No, I got it at Burger King.
Oh, okay.
Burpee King. Wait a minute. Homestead, why did you mention Burpee King? You know what? I don't know. Maybe she saw my other channel. Burpee King. I was struggling just to do 30 burpees. These guys in prison are doing like 1,000 burpees a day.
Well,
Insane.
yeah, yeah. Did you ever watch the TV show from HBO? It's called Oswald Penitentiary. Oz.
No, no.
It was it was a neat little.
Oh, the
show.
dude, that dude that does all the wild. Is he Mexican? I think he's Mexican. That does all those wild burpees.
Are you
He's
talking to
doing
me or
burpees all
Homestead?
over. Homestead.
Okay.
Homestead put up something. She said, check Burpee King. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He's from California, I think. Burpee King. Yeah, he's one of those. I think he's in one of those prison gangs, and this kid is insane. He's like 5'6" or something. Solomon. He's like 5 foot. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Good to see you too, man. I like that hat. Kind of jealous because it might look better than mine, maybe a little bit. Got the crown though. Look out.
Take care, Abdul.
Yeah, so some of the prison gangs require that you have a workout regimen because you got to always be prepared for when something jumps off in prison. When something big jumps off. Suleiman is the king. Look, I'm the king. Vegan, check it out. I mean, I know you're the king. You're the vegan kings, but yeah, we had 11. Now we're down to 10. The chat.
It's
Yeah,
never accurate.
The channel's blowing up because look, I got 11, 10. It's blowing up. They came to see the king.
It's never accurate.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal in there, and a lot of times in prison, it's your very own people that do you in. Your very own. And some of them have very strict rules. Very strict rules. And it's crazy because here's a bunch of people that hate authority. Oh shit, there goes my crown. They hate authority. Absolutely hate authority. Yet they take on the role of authority amongst themselves. Yeah. Totally crazy. Yeah. Totally crazy. And they're brutal with each other. Brutal. And you can get punished for the craziest stuff in the world. You can get sentenced to death on a lie.
Mm-hmm.
On a lie.
Yeah.
Or on a suggestion. Like there was this one dude that didn't like another member of it, same member of his gang. He just didn't like him for some reason, and he went to the leader in that facility, and said, "Hey, this guy brought up your wife's name, like suggesting that while he was out in the free world, he got close to his wife or something." And just for that, and the guy didn't even bother to investigate. He just had 3 guys go.
He trusted the guy enough to listen to what he said and
make Swiss cheese out of him. Yeah, yep. I mean that's bugged out, but it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, prison is not a great place. I don't recommend it.
No, I told you my story of incarceration one time.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't too. That led me never to get arrested again. That's for sure. Yeah. So back to the if we could regress back to the other topic of the crazy weather stuff like that, the tornadoes.
So apparently, the insurance companies, they're treating the climate change like it's something serious enough that it's impacting people's pockets. Like, if you wanted to purchase a home right now in Florida, you might have an issue trying to get insurance. I guess Florida has one
They've
insurance
got
company that
one.
does.
They've got one like government assisted
Hi,
one,
quiet.
but
Hi,
it's
quiet.
not
Sir.
that great of insurance. I've still got one that's but it's one of the last ones that didn't pull out, you know?
So basically, all you guys have is one.
There's two options. Mine's a little more expensive, but it covers, but then they've got the state one, but it doesn't,
That's
it's
comprehensive.
it's not that great of insurance. So it's the bare minimum, you know. We're talking
So the private one, there's
four
only one
thousand
private
dollar
one.
deductibles, things like that, you know.
There's only one private one and one government.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I don't know that for a fact though. Don't I mean you can't
Oh,
quote me on that.
that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. What you're
Yeah,
telling me right now is what I've heard as
yeah.
far as insurance in Florida, and California is it's not much better.
No, they're
Thank you,
dropping
Miss
like
Vegan. Thank you, Miss Vegan. Guys, you guys are coming in here. I'm not putting this on so that you can bow to me. That's not the point. I just want to demonstrate that I've got royalty in the family. There it is. Got my crown. I've got royalty. I got royalty in my blood. I gotta be careful because I can wind up knocking my crown off. Yeah. So no, listen.
Hi, quiet.
The insurance. Why would you want to limit if you're an insurance company? Why would you want to shrink the amount of area that you cover when the whole objective is to throw a much wider net so that you can get more customers?
Well, the
You
problem
are
is they're having
you
to
are
pay out for more of those customers. That's why.
okay. So they're letting you know there is an issue.
With you
There's
living
an
here.
issue.
Yep.
There's an issue. But like if you're an investor, these are the type of things that you should not ignore.
Of course.
You should not allow propaganda to fill your head in and cause you to make bad decisions. But that happens all the time. That's why I'm a 2%er. That's why I reach out so that I can snatch up all the other 2%ers. So that if you're a 2%er and you're new to the game or whatever and you're not participating, I'm sending out information for those 2%ers so that they can know that we're out here and that you got to get on the ball financially. You got to get on the
Yeah.
ball. 98% of the population, this is something I learned in sales. This is something I learned when I became a stockbroker, because all I did as a stockbroker was cold calling. I was trying to get people into the firm.
Glenn. Yeah, I saw that. It was about the stocks.
What's that?
The movie Glenn something.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that. But that's what I had to do all day, every day. Cold call, try to get new customers.
Yeah.
But in orientation, we were told, listen, I mean, it wasn't much of an orientation, but they broke it down. You're gonna be making tons of call, but there's a 98% rejection rate. So if you can't handle rejection, this ain't the place for you. So you can expect a 2% response. That's where the 2% comes from.
Gotcha.
So that you convey. I could probably be on this channel for 100 years, and maybe I
All
can get
right.
1 million subs. And with 1 million subs, only 2% will actually execute the type of things that will help them financially. Only 2%.
All right. Being that you're into finance and stuff and insider trading and things like that, this is a great movie. It's got Lennon in it, or Lemon. It's called Glengarry Glen Ross. This is a
Hmm.
1992 movie about the stock market, and Alec Baldwin's in it. Um, he's my favorite in that because he just walks in and goes, "Oh, you guys are all concerned about everything? Well, don't worry about it because you guys are all fired tomorrow."
There you go. It
And
was an intense environment. I have to say that. It was an
yeah, but
intense.
this movie showed it all. But it's called Glengarry Glen Ross, and Glengarry, one word, Glenn, and then Ross. And
Shit, I lost my crown again.
oh, the thing keeps falling off, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. The killer is get him vegan. The killer is that the whole investment scene with CNBC, Bloomberg, all these other uh, outlets that focus on investing. Those places are marketing hubs. Thank you, D.
Oh,
Thank
DeAndre.
you,
Hey,
D.
DeAndre.
Oh, D. You didn't see me with my new
He hasn't
title.
seen it crowned.
You didn't
He
see
hasn't
my new
seen
title.
it crowned.
I am the king. Hey, hey, D. I'm the king. D. Check it out. Woo! I'm the king. D. I'm the king. So these are hubs for marketing, big time. That's what all these channels are, and it's very easy. It's very easy to get wrapped up. So mentorship is very important. You got to be careful even of the mentors that you have regarding investing and trading. I trade. I don't just invest, but I trade.
I personally, I don't trust. I find it hard to trust people with my money. You know.
That's not unusual. That's not unusual. That's very common. Very common. But that doesn't take away from the fact that the stock market provides people with the ability to enhance their wealth, maintain their wealth. It doesn't take away from that.
Yeah, no, I'm
But
with you 100%. I'm just saying I find it hard to trust individuals, you know?
well,
So
here's
when
okay. So at my level, I manage my own accounts. I
yeah,
decide what corporations I'm going to
you're
invest
gonna
in and
uh-huh.
which ones I'm going to stay away with.
Yep.
I I I I don't need a broker. I was a broker and I
Yeah.
understand the mechanisms. So I don't need to have Schwab or damn, there goes my I don't have a need for Schwab or E-Trade or anyone else.
Hmm.
Welcome, 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 welcome everybody. Welcome Mind Your Business. Welcome Juice YouTube. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming in and
12
supporting.
watching. There's only
Love it.
7 likes. Come on, guys, hit the like button. Hit the like button for Solomon. Come on.
Do that for Mr. Solomon. Hey! Tina Brown, welcome, Tina Brown. These are new people. I don't remember seeing any of these people here before. But in any event, look, here's the deal, right? You know, E-Trade, Schwab, TD Ameritrade, whoever. You have, well, there's one particular broker that I wouldn't even open up an account with because they're far too limited for me. But
when you say limited, what do you mean by that?
Well, when I can do the full service. I can do the full service all on my own. I can do I can allocate my money in so many and diversify it to my benefit. I don't need a broker to do that for me. But the average person
doesn't have access to that.
Might find it a little overwhelming, a little confusing. No, there are brokers that will allow you. For example, E-Trade will allow you to. They'll allow you to trade anything. However, there is a list of questions that they do ask to see if you have the knowledge to be able to engage in certain types of investing.
Yeah.
But they may not be able to provide the answers to be able to open up those avenues for them. But again, I get any brokerage that I engage in, I have all my avenues open and I manage my own stuff. But you don't have to be so knowledgeable to engage in the stock market and be profitable. You don't have to. It's just that the things that I do accelerate how much money I get in the same time frame. But that doesn't mean that you can't accomplish a lot with something very simple. That's why if you look at the description on any of my videos, and after I'm done with the live, if you look at the description, you're going to find a link to Acorns. Acorns is so super simple. It is insane how simple that is.
Well, I was doing Robinhood.
Yeah, you could do Robinhood too,
right?
Robinhood, you could do more with Robinhood than you can with Acorns, a lot more. But if you want to just sit back and just let your money grow without having to, oh wow, look at this. This is, oh man, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at it. Look at all this. Look at all these flowers. Look at all these flowers, man. These guys are giving me, man. Listen.
No, you're getting a lot of love tonight, man. You're getting a lot of love tonight, man. Look at that.
I'm getting love. I got to put the crown on because I'm getting.
I was gonna say it's because of the crown. It's got to be because of the crown.
I got to put the crown on because this is love that you would. That this is royal love.
Maybe take your other hat off. Put one hat on at a time, man.
No, but then I got to take the headset off and all that other stuff.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. It's an ordeal.
It's an ordeal. I just
gotcha.
You know. And I don't think this crown fits me because it's too small.
Maybe it wasn't designed for an adult's head.
My son said that my head is so big that I can't go to a barber shop. I got to get somebody to come over with a lawnmower and go across my head. He said, I don't need a barber. I need a landscaper. He said, my head's so big. So
you need a weed whacker.
I need a weed whacker. So with Acorns, Acorns is so ridiculously simple, so outrageously simple. If you're on look, the way things are set up now for participating in the stock market, if you're sitting on the sidelines, you are definitely hurting yourself, without a doubt, 100%. You're hurting yourself. You really are.
I agree.
You don't have to listen. You don't have to. You don't have to dump large sums of money. $1 a day. That's it. You can help yourself with a dollar a day. I can't convince anybody to do what I do or what I've done. I can't convince anybody to do that because that would be a major sacrifice. I can't do that. I can't ask anybody to do that. I won't even ask my own children to do what I did. Okay, to set myself up financially. No,
You took a
uh,
lot of risk. Is that what you're getting at?
no, I made a lot of sacrifices. So while people were out spending money on vacations, going out to clubs, things like that, I put a stop to all that. And instead of going to a bar and spending X amount, I would not go to the bar. Instead, I would take the money that I would have spent on a bar and I would have invested it.
Hmm. Well, in your last video, you're talking about the bottom line, the one you were doing the drive with. And you're talking about somebody doing $35 a day or something like that. And then when they got a pay
Yeah,
raise,
that's my son.
oh, that was your son you were talking about. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool. That's cool
35
information.
$35 a week. But see, here's the thing: the way it's set up, $35 a week was a little inconvenient for him. He's got two kids, but he was a little inconvenient. But then he
Yeah,
switched jobs. I'm always talking about how he got an increase in pay, but the truth of the matter is that increase in pay came from a job, a change job,
yeah, job change. Okay. Either way,
and
it
that
was an
job
increase
change,
in pay. It doesn't matter
it's an
where you
increase
work.
in pay.
It's
So
an
I
increase in
convinced
pay.
him, listen,
Bottom
you
line.
got more money. You got more money. That doesn't mean you need to increase your expenses. That doesn't mean that you have to increase how much you spend.
Yeah,
Think about it. So
yeah,
instead
yeah.
of seeing the amount that you spend, you can increase the amount that you contribute to your account. You can increase the amount and reap the benefits because I try to explain to him, listen, look at your money, look at every dollar that you have, look at it as if it was an employee of yours. And if you
Hmm.
put your employee to work, they're going to generate more money for you in dividends. So he's investing in corporations that pay out dividends. And every time he gets a payment from those dividends, those are new employees that you have. So then you put
Hmm.
more employees to work for you. And before you know it, you'll have such a large amount of employees working for you that you can actually, hopefully, once this sinks into his head, he might increase the amount that he puts into his account. And if he does do that, along with the dividends that are coming in, he could potentially, the day will come where the amount that he's receiving in dividends on a yearly basis will match what he's making at his job. If that happens, if he allows that to happen, because it'll definitely happen, but if he allows that to happen, I won't recommend that he quit his job, but he would have a salary equaling whatever he's making at his job. And even if he stops contributing, even if he stops contributing, it'll be a snowball effect.
Yeah.
He'll be compounding his money, which is, once he reaches that, it's outrageous. It's ridiculous.
Hmm.
It's ridiculous. But this is a consumer based economy.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of marketing to get into your head to make you give up that money so easily.
Oh yeah,
So
this is a especially in America.
yeah, 70% of our economy is
You look
based on
all over the world, and they make I mean, people make
70%, 70% of our economy is consumption based.
yeah.
So people have to spend, people have to give up that money. But you don't have to
Um,
be part of that 70%. You don't have to be. And I'm not
1984. Did you see
Uh-huh.
that movie?
I read the book.
Oh, you remember? Do you remember that they would buy the red boxes to be part of the society, and they would buy the red boxes, and then they would put the boxes basically in a garbage can. But they were doing their part. They were just
Hmm.
buying to buy. You know.
Yeah. And it starts when we're little. We're watching cartoons, and and whatever you're watching is interrupted with a good night, quiet
Cereal.
storm. Good night.
Cereal.
As a child, well, no, you're not just
Quiet. Good
cereal,
night. Good night,
toys,
Paul.
right? And one week, a month later, there's a new toy, the latest Action Jackson, whatever, GI
Yeah.
Joe. Now you got last month it was GI Joe with the binoculars. This next month is GI Joe with the Kung Fu grip, and
Yeah.
they're showing all these kids. Wow, they're so cool because they got the new GI Joe, and they're basically planting a seed. And since you're young, that seed is planted,
They're impressionable. Yeah.
and as you grow older, you don't necessarily mature, but you get older, and you're
That reminds
wanting
me of
you're yeah, you're wanting the latest. Oh, okay,
that reminds me of a
sorry, quiet.
statement that
Sorry, quiet. Yeah,
oh,
sorry about that. I misinterpreted what you were saying there. I'm sorry.
I just went off of
And
him. So I went off of misinformation. That's how misinformation works. You know,
yeah, misinformation is
he
like
thinks
that.
you're going, I just go with it.
So from when you're a child in this country, you get bombarded with advertising, get bombarded with marketing,
Yeah,
and that seed gets planted. So now as you're older, you gotta your car is 5 years old, but the latest model is out. And oh my God, if you have the latest model, just like when you were a child, oh my God, this is the GI Joe with the Kung Fu grip that just came out in car form.
there's
So this is yeah. So this is what I gotta
a,
get.
I'll when just when you're done, I'm gonna just say something that a comedian had said
Yeah, go ahead,
about
say
that
it.
same exact topic. Okay, he said McDonald's is marketing to kids,
Yeah,
and what they do is they just put this seed in their head, you know,
yeah,
basically. And he says, so I'm just gonna put a seed, and I mean, it was a comedian, he was joking, but he just said, if every time we drive by McDonald's, rather than put the good thoughts in their heads, I'm just gonna slap them across the head, so he just never thinks of McDonald's. Every
Hey,
advice.
McDonald's is powerful. McDonald's, the ads on McDonald's. Look, I learned English through television and radio. That's how I learned English.
Did you?
And
I
yeah,
have another friend from Poland who actually did the same thing, and he learned it from the TV show The Dukes of Hazards.
yeah. Well, I was exposed to it at the age of 3. I was exposed to all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I learned. And because I was watching all this stuff, listen,
Yeah,
my mom used to hook the tastiest hamburgers, but because they didn't look like a Big Mac, I used to reject her burgers, and her burgers were absolutely delicious.
oh,
And she didn't have the sesame seed bun. So when she served me this burger without a sesame seed bun with regular Wonder Bread,
this is not McDonald's.
I said some of the most offensive stuff to my mother,
Mm.
because it didn't have the sesame seed bun. Looking at this burger with no sesame seed bun, I flipped on my mom's.
Oh no,
What is this?
you regret
What
that, I'm
is
sure,
this?
right? You regret that, I'm sure.
No, of course.
Yeah.
It took me 40 years to regret it, but
Yeah, no,
yeah,
yeah. When you're a kid, I don't know about you, but I was an asshole when I was a kid.
no,
You
kids
know.
are brutally honest.
Yeah.
So my mom's got this burger. I mean,
I,
this is real meat. This ain't like 60% beef and then 40% cardboard or whatever
40%.
the hell that thing is.
Yeah. No, they put a lot of. There's so many ingredients in a McDonald's hamburger. It's insane.
So here it
Is it?
is, a real beef burger hooked
Mhm.
up with the seasonings and everything. And I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't look
I'm
like
looking,
it at all on it.
no, I'm looking at the bread. It's Wonder Bread. I'm like, what the hell is this? Mom, what is this? Well, you wanted a
You would
hamburger,
enjoy.
right? No, I didn't want a hamburger. I wanted McDonald's. Don't you understand? I want a McDonald's. I don't want this. What is this?
Yeah. Well, that's it's really funny that you said that is because one of the valets that I work with, I've been doing this thing. Um, I've been uploading my YouTube videos of what I'm making for the dinner for the staff,
Mm-hmm.
and that's so that the staff, all the valets, the lifeguards, everybody can just click on. Everybody's like subscribed to me. They can just click on and see what I made for dinner for them for the night, rather than
Mm-hmm.
have 20 people come ask me all day, "Hey, what you making for dinner tonight?" You know.
Right.
So I've been putting these little clips on. They're it's just for them.
It's
Just
the
to go
little
on.
clips. They mean so much, the little clips.
Yeah, but one of the guys, he says, "Hey, I got this recipe. I want you to try it out sometime. It's a Big Mac wrap." And so I was like, "Okay." It was just basically a mock recipe for the Big Mac, but in a tortilla wrap. So I made it for him the other night, and they were like ecstatic. They were like, "Oh wow, this tastes just to me. It tasted just like a freaking Big Mac." But it was in a tortilla instead of a thing. I gotta handle the dog for a minute. You gotta give me a minute. Sorry, I'm sorry, Solomon.
No, you're cool.
I gotta see. Hey, I'm back.
Hey,
I got him out. There was a rabbit out there. He started
noise.
going crazy. Yeah. So when you're traveling, I mean, I know they got rest stops and stuff like that, but I've driven by places, especially like during the optimal times.
Telling everyone, look, this is what I'm gonna do.
What did you say? What was that question?
Oh, I said when you're traveling,
Yeah.
and you see sometimes the rest stops get full, and they just get
Yeah.
filled up.
Yep.
I mean, what do you do like if all right, your time to rest, and you go to those rest stops, and they've got because I've seen trucks parked right outside the off ramp on them, just on the
Right.
shoulders,
Right.
because they got nowhere else to park. I mean, they can't park in the actual
That's
rest
right. They
area.
can't because it's too full.
Yeah.
That's been a big problem. That's been a huge problem for us drivers. Huge. So what happens in that case is that we get creative.
Yeah.
Okay. We
That's why I'm
park in,
asking.
yeah, we park in spaces that were not intended for us to park in.
Uh-huh.
Now, there are states like Pennsylvania and Virginia where if you park on the shoulder or an on ramp or an off ramp, not only will you get a ticket, but you'll also have points added to your license, which is not good.
Yeah.
Really not good, because for us,
Okay.
points on the license equals increase in insurance costs.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I'm not running my own authority right now, but when I did, my premium for the year, which was the lowest premium you could possibly get, you can't get any cheaper, at that time was $32,000 a year.
Uh-huh.
That was the insurance premium. So imagine you have a car and you got to pay $32,000 a year.
That's quite a bit. It's a chunk of change.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
And that's the cheapest.
That's the
I
government.
know. No, it's not no, that's not the government. That's the insurance company. That's the insurance company. Private
Getting to
entity.
be that was the government equation, which is the cheapest you can get, which is the lowest coverage,
Oh,
etc.
okay, yeah. Because I knew of another guy. He had to pay $64,000 a year. That's just insurance. That's somebody's
Yeah.
salary.
Yeah.
That's somebody's salary with a good paying job.
That's most money that most high school graduates make in a year. That amount of money.
In Florida?
In
High school
general.
graduate? I don't think so. I think it's $42,000 a year. Check it out. Take a look. Average salary.
You said $62,000 a year for the insurance. That's what
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah, for the insurance.
Yeah, I'm saying that's more than most people without a high school diploma make in a year.
Oh, a lot more.
Yeah.
Even with a high school diploma.
Good.
I know college graduates that had starting salaries of $42,000 a year. College
Yeah.
graduates.
Yes.
And this insurance was $50 more. No. 25% more. 25% more. So somebody who decided to go to college, got a student loan, graduates with a debt, making $42,000 a year after 4 years, in 1 year has to pay $62,000.
That's insane, man. That's our. Let me rephrase that. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. So,
well, let's get back to the original question though. Is what do you do if you get to a stop? All right, let's say you're in Pennsylvania and you can't pull over on the shoulder, like you can in Florida or a couple of other states.
you gotta stop. You gotta change your driving You gotta change your driving status, so that you have to go on personal conveyance, and you got to specify under the description, because they're going to ask you for a description. They're going to ask you to write in the description area why you're going on personal conveyance.
Yeah.
And you have to put down that you're in search of a safe haven.
So, but I'm asking you specifically, what do you do when you search for a safe haven?
You got to keep going.
If you can't go on the, well, you keep going, but
you got to keep driving until you find one.
Where do you? You don't pull off and go into like a Walmart or something like that?
The Walmart, most Walmarts don't want you in their parking lot.
Yeah. No, that's why I'm asking the question, because I'm curious about it. You know, so what do you do? You're tired.
Keep moving.
You're tired. You pull into the rest stop that you originally intended to rest at because you're getting tired. You're drive time's about up, you know? Because you get logged on your drive time, right?
Well, the authorities don't want to hear it. They'll tell you that you're supposed to pre-plan your trip.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I'm getting at. Is what if you pre-plan your trip and then you get to the rest stop and it's in Pennsylvania, but you can't stop there because it's full.
You got to keep going. You got to find a place where you can park safely.
Yeah. How often does that happen? How
A
often does
lot.
that happen to you?
That happens often to a lot of drivers because see, here's the thing. For example, I got a refrigerated load.
Okay.
So when you have a refrigerated load, what usually happens at the facilities that you pick up, you'll have a long wait before you get loaded.
Mm-hmm.
A long wait. Could be an hour, it could be 5 hours, it could be 8 hours before you get completely loaded. So it all depends. And you don't always go to the same facility, so you don't always have the same result. Now you start your clock. You do your pre-trip inspection, however long that takes. It could take 30 minutes, whatever. So that's 30 minutes off your clock right there, right off the rip. You got a 14-hour clock. You got 30 minutes right off your clock right there, just on the pre-trip.
Okay.
So you got 30 minutes off. So you got 13 hours and 30 minutes remaining of on-duty time. Now, you're given the location where you got to go pick up. It might be an hour away. It might be 20 minutes away, whatever the case is. So that's less time on your clock and less time on your drive clock. Those are two separate clocks. So now you go to the facility, you check in, park in the waiting area, and we'll give you a phone call. They might call you in 10 minutes. They might call you in 2 hours. Let's say they call you in 1 hour. So now you got 2 hours and 30 minutes off your clock. You back into a door, and it takes them an hour and a half to load you. Well, now you got 3.5 hours off your clock, and now you got to start moving. So you basically have 10.5 hours left on your clock, and you got your GPS activated. You know where you're going. Hopefully, you've traveled along that highway enough times to know where the rest areas are and where the truck stops are.
Yeah.
So now you got to calculate to maximize the amount of time, drive time you utilize. You got to calculate where you're going to wind up. And hopefully there's either no traffic or there are no accidents along the way that'll force you to get off at a different location. Now, with all that, you also have the time of day to consider. Because if you don't get to a truck stop,
we're talking about rush hour going through cities and stuff.
If you don't get to a truck stop by 6 o'clock, the chances of you finding parking are very low. Very low.
Yeah.
So basically, you got to start finding parking sometime before 6 o'clock if you want to find a place to park. But now you got your dispatcher calling you saying, "What's up?" And you're like, "What do you mean, what's up? You got 5 hours of drive time remaining. Why are you pulling over now?" And then you try to explain to the dispatcher, well, because if I continue to drive another 5 hours, I'm not going to find a place to park.
Yeah.
Oh, I find that hard to believe. You got to make it to the delivery appointment by such and such time. And then you try to explain to them, listen, buddy,
It ain't gonna happen.
I'm in this state. If you want to threaten me to keep going, okay, I'll go. But you do know that if I get a ticket and points at my license, that also impacts the company. You know that, right? You know that there will be an increase. Hi, Health Infused. You know that there will be an increase. Hi, Queen. Hey, Queen. I came ready for you, Queen. Look, I'm the king. I'm the king. So you do know that if I get a tick, damn, I lost my crown. All right, you're the queen though.
You keep dropping it.
Keep dropping the crown.
Yeah.
So
Not sticking.
it's not sticking. So thank you, Queen, and thank you, Health, for coming in. So if I get a ticket, the company also has the company has something called a CSA score, and the insurance companies take a look at that CSA score, and if they have points, they increase their insurance premiums. So if I get a ticket, the company is going to have an increase in insurance payments. And if they're a company that has like 500 trucks, well, that's 500 possibilities of getting increases in their insurance premium, which makes it harder and harder for them to maintain their operation because of the cost. So, yes, happy Black History Month, Queen. Yes, yes, yes. Happy Black History Month. We still have one.
Oh, it started today.
Yeah,
right?
they're yeah. The powers that be are trying to eliminate Black History Month, but it's still here. And happy Black History Month. So
You should,
yeah.
hey, before you should comment a little bit about the that one about the Caribbean slaves being the very first to be the
Oh yeah, so you
should comment a little bit about that, being that it's well, actually,
yeah.
it's the second
So
day,
I was being a bit of a clown when I posted this video, but it's actually true. It's actually accurate because
the one that you were talking about.
yeah, no, with the Caribbean slaves, because you have two organizations here. I don't know if they're organizations, but two identities here in the United States. One is ADOS, which is an acronym that stands for American Descendants of Slaves, and then you have FBAs, which are Foundational Black Americans. Both organizations acknowledge their heritage of being the first Black Americans that are descendants of the first slaves that arrived here. And I express it that way because Blacks have been in this part of the hemisphere, since as early as 800 BC or even earlier than that. But they didn't come as slaves. They came as merchants and traders, and they traded with the indigenous population that long ago. But when it comes to slavery, the first African slaves to arrive. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that little detail, Queen. Thanks for enlightening us. So, as far as ADOS then is concerned, we the Blacks that arrived in the Dominican Republic or Hispaniola were the first Black slaves to arrive to this hemisphere. So basically, Vegan Kings and myself, we share that bloodline because we're both from the same island. We're both have heritage from the
Your
same island.
ancestors were, yeah.
So back then, when the Spanish arrived, it wasn't Dominican Republic and Haiti. Oh, okay, that's very interesting. They're indigenous to the land. Okay, I got you. So then I guess in my ignorance, I said that what me and Vegan Kings are descendants of are African slaves that were brought to this island, but this island's name was not what the Spanish called it. It was what the indigenous population called it, which was Quisqueya. That was the name given by the Taino. The Tainos named where we're from as Quisqueya. Puerto Rico wasn't Puerto Rico. It was Boriquen, not Borinquen with an N in there somewhere. No, Boriquen. That's what the Tainos called it. The Tainos called Cuba Guanacan, and Jamaica was Siamaca with an X, not with a J.
Mm-hmm.
So just to be a clown, I said that me and Vegan are foundational Black Quisqueyanos. But
Yeah,
I
but you
stand
know, even joking around though, that you taught some history about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We were we arrived in the Caribbean in 1502, and the first
Yeah, in your video you
first
said it was 100 years before.
a little over 100 years, like 102, 100 and some odd years,
Yeah.
and they arrived in Virginia in 1617, I think it is, or 1617. So
Yeah.
we got 100-year, a little over 100-year. I can't say advantage because there's no advantage to being a slave, but we got 100 years on the mainland.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we also had the first revolt. I'm not talking about the first successful revolt because that was with the slaves in Haiti, but the first slave revolt that basically was like, hey, auntie, the first slave revolt that yielded an individual that was comparable to Nat Turner here in the United States, but 100 years prior, a little over 100 years prior to Nat Turner, we had one that revolted in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
That he did the same thing that Nat Turner did. Hey, auntie.
Abdul was actually the first person that I didn't realize that the first rebellion was in Haiti.
Yeah, no, the first successful rebellion were the Haitian slaves against the most powerful military at that time, which was Napoleon's army.
Okay.
The most powerful, and they were the first and successful rebellion, first slave rebellion. And as a result of that rebellion, the reason why Haiti is in such a desperate financial situation right now is because of the sanctions that were placed against the Haitians by European powers, and especially the U.S. government, because the U.S. government was afraid that the slaves here in the U.S. would follow through and cause a revolt equivalent to what the Haitians did. So the Haitians did something absolutely spectacular. However, going back to the Dominicans have the first slave rebellion, but it didn't amount to anything that the Haitians did.
Yeah.
And it started out.
You know where I learned all this was talking with Abdul Vegan Kings about the soup jamu.
Yeah.
All of this
but
history.
You know what?
I learned all of this from
Yeah, and let me tell you something. The Haitians are probably the most abused group in this hemisphere. I think so. The most
I don't disagree with
abused.
you. I don't disagree with you one bit.
Hard the
I
treatment.
see
Hey, even from my brothers on the other side of the island, the treatment is despicable. They try
I'm
to
not going to disagree with you one bit.
they justify their looking down upon our brothers from the other side of the island because the Haitians went and kicked our butt, and they they governed us for 30 years. We didn't get our independence from Spain. We got our independence from the Haitians, from the Haitian government. And they're
See,
mad about that.
I didn't know that part of history either. So,
Yeah, they're mad. They're mad about that for some reason.
mhm,
But they do everything in their power to negate the connection that we have.
mhm.
They do everything in their power to do that. Uh, not all my family does that because if you see, I mean, I've even shown some of the members of my family on here they, there's no way. There's no way you can deny it. In fact, there are some members of my family that if they took a walk over and crossed the border into Haiti, nobody will be talking to them in Spanish. They'd be speaking to them in Creole.
Mm-hmm.
Sac passe, naboule. Why? Because there's no distinction physically. There's no distinction. None. So there's a big old there's a lot of dumb stuff in there. And yeah, Dominican Republic, a queen. Yep. Yep. Basically the Dominicans and the Haitians share the same bloodline. They do. It's just that at some point the Spanish were the first to arrive to the island. They were the
Mm-hmm.
first. Yes, some of them do deny that. Some of them do deny that, but that is the brainwashing that they've been getting from the Spanish. It's nothing but pure brainwashing. That's all it is. And yes, they're on the same island. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now see, you got two separate European powers that eventually wound up on the same island, which is the French and the Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
But they ran things. Yeah, Queen, check this out. I got cousins. I'm serious. I got cousins that are so black if they had yellow lipstick, they'd look like cheeseburgers. I'm serious. They are ultra black. They bend light. Some of my cousins, when they come inside the room, the light starts to go like this. They bend light. That's how black they are. Okay. I don't have conversations about stuff like that with them. I know what the deal is. I know what the deal is. And I just don't bring it up, but that's what remained in their brain from what the Spanish did to them. Absolutely horrible. The Portuguese did it with the Brazilians, and the French has done it on other islands here in the Caribbean.
Well, the Caribbean was like almost back in the 1600s or so.
1492. 1492.
This is one of like the most sought after, equities from Europe.
Well, especially okay, so the Spanish, exactly, Auntie. Exactly. Yes. They look like it now, yes. Listen, listen. My cousin Fatima, she was so black when she got out the car, the oil light came on. Listen, I'm trying to tell you. Listen, and these people deny it. These people, like what Queen said, they deny it. It's insanity. The colonization of black people did a number on their mental. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Damage, total damage. Look, when I go to the Dominican Republic to visit, and Puerto Rico, let's not leave them out. The way I move, the way I conduct myself, the way I address people, they get frustrated with me because when I address people, when I speak to these people, and this is something that someone actually came out and said, I don't know my place. What? What do you mean I don't know my place? Yeah, you acting like you're these people's equal. That's because I am. How's that?
Wait. Can you elaborate a little bit on
I
that?
can elaborate.
Please.
Because of my skin color in my family's country, because of my skin color in Puerto Rico, because of
Yeah.
my skin color, I'm supposed to conduct myself in a way to acknowledge that the white members of our society are superior. That's the way I'm supposed to conduct myself. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
this is when you're visiting Puerto Rico.
And Dominican Republic. Yes. Yes. I'm supposed to keep my head down. Yeah, Cuba.
Because you've got
Cuba.
darker skin. Because you've got darker skin.
Absolutely, 100%. Listen, I'll tell you a story.
Yeah, please.
So I'm with my homeboy. He's much lighter skinned than me, but you can tell he got that. You can tell he got that African.
He's got that African blend. That African blend.
He got that. Oh yeah. If he came here to this country in the 50s and he got on a bus and he sat in the front, oh yeah, the driver will be asking him, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing? Oh no. You go you go to the back, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, wow, okay. Mm-hmm. But we took a walk from my house. We took a walk and we went to this little stand, this little fruit and we decided to buy a couple of beers. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning and there's a gentleman there.
Mm-hmm.
He's light skinned.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's got some black blood in him. I'm pretty sure of it. He farts out loud, like he rips one. Oh, you're laughing, right? So that's the exact same response that we had. We started laughing. We looked at each other like, damn, homeboy he didn't care. He just ripped right in front of us. Didn't give a damn. Well, he got offended. He said, what are you laughing at? I said, no, nothing. We were just... Listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell both of you something. I can do that. You know why I can do that? Because I'm white. Now, you stinking ass black mother. If y'all did that, straight up in our face. Straight up in our face. If y'all did that, then it would be bad. because whatever comes out of your ass smells like shit. But when I do it, smells like flowers. We just
Oh shit.
we laughed a little more, but we tried to be serious. We
Yeah.
tried to be serious. You know, we didn't want to
Yeah,
disrespect the guy. He was much older than us. But
Mhm.
that's how it is in the island. Straight up. Listen, I had a family member tell me. All right, first let me break it down. So on my
Yeah.
father's side of the family, my grandmother,
Yeah.
on my father's side of the family,
Of course.
she's the daughter of a man, my great grandfather, whose family was one of a group of families that were sent to Dominican Republic by the Spanish government to maintain a white population because I guess chocolate was the favorite flavor and everybody was all up in the chocolate.
Oh, chocolate
So
is
there
a
was
big
a
trade item.
so there was
So is
there was a whole lot of mixing going on, and the Spanish government said, "Oh no, wait a second." So my great grandfather was the son of one of those families that were sent specifically to this area in Dominican Republic to maintain a white population in the southern part of the Dominican Republic.
Mhm.
I was talking to I was talking to a family member of mine, a much older family member. I'm talking. This was back in, I want to say, the early '90s, and he was already in his '70s. Because there was an uncomfortable encounter when I first went up into my family's town because I don't fit the description at all. And he was explaining to me that when he was a young man, he wouldn't sit where a black person sat. I'm looking at this dude like, oh shit, are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I'm in the Bronx on Webster Avenue
Yeah.
at a restaurant slash club. They're
Yeah.
celebrating some guy's birthday. We're like, wow. They say the guy's name. I know a lot of Dominicans hang out there. And I said, wait a minute. That's my family's last name. So I'm with my homeboy and I say, yo, let me find out. Let me go talk to the bartender and find out where this guy's from.
Mhm.
So I asked the bartender, hey, where's this guy? Did this guy happen to be from this town? He goes, yeah, he is. Oh shit, that guy's related to me. And the
No
bartender
shit.
looked at me for a hot second and just started laughing in my face. He said, nah, that ain't possible. You can't be related to him. Look at him. He's white. You're black. Ha 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 ha.
Oh wow.
It turns out he was. It turns out he was related to me. He was a cousin of mine. It
Yeah.
happened again at a grocery store. I'm looking at the license and it has my family's last name on the license. So I
Yeah.
asked the kid behind the counter with green eyes, white kid with green eyes. I say, hey, by
Yeah, I
any
got
chance, are these guys, are you guys from such and such a town? And he looked at me like, yeah, but he looked at me like suspicious because I don't know what he was thinking. But I said, oh, snap, you guys are related to me. Here we go with the laughter again. Ha, 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 ha. He calls his uncle over. Hey, listen to this. Repeat what you just said. Say it to my uncle. Oh, that you guys are related to me. Now, the uncle didn't laugh. He just looked at me like, huh? What do you mean? He says, yeah, man, you guys are related to me. And he said, how's that? All right, listen. All right. My great grandfather is this. My grandmother is this. He's her daughter. her sister is such and such, her brother is such and such, her cousin is this, her cousin's that. You guys live in this place. You guys are, these are the two last names from this part of the family. And the dude was like, his jaw dropped. He was like, huh? Yes, man, we're related. And he was like, but, yeah, motherfucker, I'm black. I'm black from the waist down too. What the hell? You guys didn't know that? Yeah, my grandmother loved the chocolate. She loved the chocolate. What the hell? And a bunch of people in my family loved the chocolate. And some of them came out dark chocolate with no milk in it. Jet black. Yeah. So, but in Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, if you embrace your African heritage, you're supposed to keep that on the low. You got to straighten that hair out. Oh, they see me with my curls all over the place. Oh, where you going? Going outside. No, come here. We got to fix your hair. I got to the point where I was in my teens and I said, wait a minute. What? Fix? What do you mean fix? I don't understand. What do you mean fix? Oh, you got bad hair. Bad? Since when was hair good or bad? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't get it. What do you mean? There's no such thing as good hair, bad hair. This is protein. What the hell are you talking about?
Well, how did you remedy that situation?
Well, I told everybody to fuck off. That's how I remedied it. I told yo, you don't like it?
I'm gonna give
Go
you
fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, because I'm not gonna deny what I am.
Yeah.
To satisfy some stupid shit you're conjuring up. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous.
But how often do you have to deal with that with where you were at the time? You know? Well,
by that time I was here. I arrived here at the age of 3. And my the first place I stopped off was Washington Heights. Of course, I was a little kid. I couldn't go outside. I couldn't interact. But by the time I was like 5, 6 years old, I was in the Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm mixing it up. I'm mixing it up with blacks and Hispanics that are black. And I'm starting to learn, because these teachers, these teachers in the public school system in New York City, they didn't hesitate to teach us Black history. They didn't hesitate, and they were white.
That's good. Because I don't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry. I mean to interrupt you, but they're taking away the history in Florida. They're taking away
Arkansas.
I know where Arkansas. I'm scared about that. You know.
Well, my peoples need to be scared the most, because that's a generation that's going to be coming up that's not going to learn
about it, because
you see the reason I believe that the reason why I'm able to keep my head up high was because of my education here in the United States, where I was taught African history or Black history.
Yeah.
Well, mostly Black history from here, from the United States.
Yeah.
I was taught. So because I was taught, my understanding of what happened and the reason why some blacks think the way they do had a lot to do with the history here. And that empowered me. So now, yeah, You can say whatever the fuck you want, but we're not stupid, lazy people like some people try to claim we are. That's a bunch of bullshit. That's a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah,
Because
but
because
when- go
because of
ahead.
the fact that we learned of personalities like Marcus Garvey, for example, like Toussaint Louverture, okay? You're gonna tell me different?
Well, what I'm scared about is my kids are not going to learn the actual history that happened. They're trying to freaking erase just they're trying to erase slavery from the history books. Period. Period.
Well,
Point blank. It
here.
never happened. It never
Well,
happened. That's
here.
what they want
Auntie
to
made
do.
it. I know, but the auntie made a point. See, I grew
Oh, I
up.
didn't
I
see.
grew up. I grew up.
I'm outside. I didn't see your comment.
Oh, okay. So I'll let everybody else see it. So
Yeah.
I'm I've been privileged to have been able to grow up in New York City and learn all these things that had I been born now, I wouldn't be able to learn in the red states like Florida,
Yes.
Arkansas, and soon all the other red states because they're all going to leave.
Yes. Yes.
So I will be able to teach my own children their bloodline because they share. Even though I got a couple of kids that look like little white kids,
I'm
they
going to
have
be able to teach my children the same thing, and I agree with you. However, if it's not in the schools, it's not in the mainstream, and it's not going to. If they erase the history books, I mean, you're talking about thousands of children,
they can
millions of
they can
children. If they end
they
up
can
doing that,
they can erase it all they want.
yeah,
We're going to wind up galvanizing behind that. And as we galvanize, there's going to be one particular way that we participate with one another that is going to empower us. I never wanted to break it down. It's in the history of how to do it.
yeah. No, I got you. I'm just, I don't want that to have to happen. I want a.
I don't want to share it with the world. I only want to share it.
No, I got you 100%. I know, I know 100% what you're saying, but it's unfortunate. That's all I'm gonna say.
It is unfortunate. It's
There should
ridiculous.
be,
It's
there should
stupid.
be,
It's
there should
ignorant.
be a
It's ignorant
peaceful,
as all hell.
peaceful. Yeah, there should be peaceful. I don't
Look,
know.
I'll tell you this because I was in sports, right? I participated in sports. That's absolutely
I'm
right, Auntie.
listening.
Auntie said you can't sit there and say because they're taking it out of schools, they won't learn it. You must educate yourself first and teach your kids as well. Yes.
I agree. I agree 100% with her. 100%. However, the majority. I'm going to go by the majority. I mean, uh, look at what's happening. People are just following ignorance, and they're following ignorance, and they're the world's going to where it is right now in America, and it sucks because people don't. And then you talk to these people. Why did you vote for this person? Why did you vote for that person? And they have no real understanding of why they did it. That's what's scary to me is they don't have
Look,
the understanding. You know?
Auntie's making an incredibly valid point right here.
Yeah.
Put it up. Yeah.
Oh,
It's up
it's by.
it's up to the individual. It's up to each individual.
Yeah.
And if you really want the you want to create the correct path, you lead by example. 100%. You lead by example. Yes.
I
Okay.
agree. One.
So here we go. Like I said, I was in sports, right? I played football, baseball, soccer, tennis, basketball, judo. I competed in judo, karate. And there's one thing that damn near all my coaches have said when we had to get on the field or get on the mat or get in the ring, whatever. Uh, when you're looking at your opponent or your opponents, you don't need to strike up crazy things in your head. Just simplify it down to this. Okay. And this is my attitude with all of humanity. This is my attitude, okay? You are facing somebody that puts their pants on one leg at a time, just like you. So you ain't no worse ever. So when I walk in Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, that's exactly how it is. When I'm walking in Miami amongst the Cubans, that's exactly how it is. You guys got to put your pants on one leg at a time too. So we're good. Yeah. Don't be mad at me because when I speak to you, I look straight in your eyes. Don't be mad at me because I don't bow my head down when I'm addressing you. Because guess what? I put my pants on one leg at a time too. So we're good. What the hell's going on? So we're good. What the? That's some funky activity out here. So yeah, so they could do whatever the hell they want. But that's how crazy it is with these black Latinos, as Dom would say from the heck, as Dom would say from the Heat in Color podcast. We are Latinos. We're black. It's business about. Oh, you know what? Matter of fact, let me go to my community page right quick, because I don't know if you guys visit or if it was posted in my community page. Let's go to. How do I get there from here? I want to get there. Community page. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to get to my community page so you guys can see this. No, that's not it. Let's go right here. I'm trying to figure out how to get to my community page, y'all, so you can see exactly what it is. No, no. What did I? Right here. Right here. How do I? I'm trying to get to my community page, and I don't know how to do it on the laptop
Okay. Well,
because there's something. All right. Well, can't
Mrs.
find it.
Helms, if you watch this or if you see this, I was looking forward to talking to you.
Oh, look at that. So the auntie. By the way, hello, Adam. This is I think it's my first time seeing you. Is it? Welcome. So okay, so auntie dropped a highlight from a recent live stream. Just okay, and it touches on the very subject. Yeah, you know. What were you saying, Brandon? I'm sorry.
No, I was just commenting on something else.
Oh, it. So there's some
I have to
hardcore
excuse myself for a
brainwashing.
moment.
Okay.
I have to.
There's some hard. Yeah. There's some hardcore brainwashing that went on with all of us in it throughout the diaspora here in this hemisphere. Throughout the diaspora here in this hemisphere. Horrible. But I acknowledge my roots. I don't deny that. Hell no. Especially when somebody's standing at the urinal next to mine and they peek over into my urinal, there's no denying it. Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. There it is. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I know it gets lonely in the trucker world, but is there often peekers over the urinals? Is that something you
Yeah,
got
they're
to deal with?
peakers. They're peakers. Yeah, hell yeah, they're peakers. They're people
How do
that
you, how do you,
they're
how do you
they're
deal with them?
I let them look. Yeah, I let them look. Hey,
Because if someone
that's
was
the way
trying
it
to
is.
peek over,
Yeah,
I feel a
it
little
doesn't,
awkward.
I don't get, it don't bother me. I understand people, sometimes people feel the need to look, to look.
That would still be a little bit of an awkward situation for me. I don't know how I would handle it if somebody just blatantly looked. you know?
I acknowledge that they're looking and I just keep looking forward after that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you. Not interested.
I don't have to
Take
hide it.
it.
I don't feel the need to hide it or anything. Hey,
Well, and um, this is why I wish that Miss Helms was here because, like in France, they've got like the public bathrooms are open to both sexes. You know what I mean?
yeah. Oh, the
It's not
clubs I
like
used to go to. The clubs I used to go to were the bathrooms. Well, they said men and women, but nobody gave a shit. The men
yeah,
went into
yeah.
the women's bathroom. The women went to the
Me
men's
too.
bathroom. Nobody gave a shit.
Yeah, no, I know that. Yeah, similar situations in Florida. Yeah.
I knew the times were changing right around what was it, 86 or something like that. I was at a club. I think it was what club was that? One of the most popular clubs in New York
Mm-hmm.
City. These girls were
Club
from out of town,
54.
obviously. They were from out of town. So my drunk ass went into the ladies' room and I'm pissing. And this lady went out screaming, "Oh my God! There's a man in the room." She went and got security. Security came back. Um, what's going on? What's going on? Look, there's a man
Mm.
in the ladies' room. You call us for that shit? Get out of here!
Yeah.
Yeah,
As far as I was
nobody cared in New York.
yeah.
Oh,
No, that's how it was here, kind of. You know,
there were public
similar
restrooms.
situation.
There were public restrooms. There's one particular public restroom in Grand Central on 42nd Street.
Mm.
There were plenty of dudes that, hey, they love to play the skin flute. and they used to wait, and they used to watch all the guys come in. They had this big old grin on their face. Whatever. I didn't give a damn.
When I worked in the bar, when the guys used to go into the stalls together,
Hmm.
they would come out, and this is a biker bar, mind you. So it's kind of a macho bar,
Hmm.
And we would infer, like, hey, you guys can't be doing blow in the stall together. You guys can't do that because you're taking up the stall. We didn't care
Hmm.
that they were doing the blow. It was just the fact that there's only one fucking toilet, you know. And they were like, "Oh, we weren't doing blow." And we would just look at them and say, "Well, there's only one other reason that you would be in there." And then they would look and go, "Uh, yeah, okay, we won't do it anymore." It's
We
only
won't do
two
it
reasons
anymore.
during that. There's only two reasons you're in that stall together, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were blowing all right. Yeah.
Which do you want us to believe? All right, either
Nah,
way,
I mean, hey, when I
don't
used
do
to go
it
to those
anymore.
places, when I used to go pee in those places, I used to put on a show. I would step back and start pissing from a distance to try to get in the urinal to see how far I could back off with the pressure of the piss. Hey, I'll put on a show. I don't give a damn.
You'd make a
Uh,
game out of it.
yeah, hell yeah. Oh yeah,
That's
the
funny.
bikers. Yeah. See, Adam Burris got it. They love that meth, man.
Yeah, no, this
Oh,
wasn't a
oh, I
meth
didn't know.
bar
I didn't know.
where I
I didn't
worked at.
know.
It was a
I didn't
cocaine
know.
bar.
I didn't know meth had that kind caused that kind of reaction. Meth makes people all kinds of sexual. Oh shit! I didn't know. I didn't know that.
They make them
I
kind
didn't
of
know.
they make them kind of randy, but the thing is they're stimulated so much that
They can't perform.
they can't no they can't finish.
What do you
That's
mean
what
they
makes
can't
them
finish?
they can't
They can't nut.
finish.
They can't nut
Yeah,
off.
yeah, exactly. They just keep going forever.
That kind of like defeats the purpose. I don't know.
Yeah, but for the ladies,
Well,
it's nice.
look, you can go on. You can go on for a while. You can go on for a while, but then after you start developing calluses. You know.
Oh, they got chafing and rashes and all sorts of stuff. My neighbor was a meth head. You know, it was a female. But the guy that actually taught me how to drive a cab,
Hmm.
he was on meth and he was driving a cab. This is before they had time logs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he would drive it for like 24 hours for like 3 days straight. But then he would crash for like 2 days. You know.
Yeah.
So it was but yeah, that's a nasty drug. Um for anybody to get addicted on. It's horrible. Horrible. Um that's
Yeah.
worse to me that's worse than it's worse than crack, because
Yeah.
I
I
saw
heard that it
crack in
is.
the crack in the 80s. We had the crackheads, stuff like that. I've seen people have to go through that, deal with that,
Crack is
you
whack.
know. Yeah. Yeah, it
Who
is.
who who told the joke that what's the difference between the difference between a butt crack and crack? I think it was who's I think Homestead threw that one out there.
I
That was
don't
pretty
know.
funny. You could wash a butt crack, something like that. I forget the punchline. That is, and listen, after what is it? After 4 hours, you're supposed to go to the doctor when you have an erection for more than 4 hours.
Oh, you're talking about Viagra? Yeah. Yeah, if you got
Nah,
an
even
erection.
with even no, even without Viagra, you got it for more than 4 hours. Shit, if that's the case, I
Yeah.
should have been having surgery a long time.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, here's the joke. Here's the joke. It was Homestead. Okay, so what's the difference between a prostitute and a drug dealer? Uh, so the
A process
prostitute,
there.
she
Can't
could
we
watch her
rewash
crack.
a crack?
and resell it.
I knew that one.
Yeah.
Hey, did you get a chance to use the joke that I gave you on last
I haven't
Saturday?
I haven't stumbled upon anybody who would be able to
That's a
identify with it.
that's a funny joke though, right?
It is. But sometimes when you translate it, it loses its flavor. So
Yes, exactly.
I gotta bump into somebody, a Hispanic driver, that I
He
could tell a joke without them getting offended or something like that. Because I don't know, some of these people.
well, this is the problem. Is I gave it to him. He said, "Just text it to me, and I'll translate it for you." And I said, "Okay, good." And then he just like Google translated it and sent it, and I was like, "No, that's not the point. I wanted you
Right,
to
but
give it the flavor from the
yeah,
you know."
because
I
when
mean,
you translate, sometimes it loses it
exactly,
sometimes.
exactly. Because there's several Haitian guys that I work with, and we translate jokes, and um some of them come over good, some of them kind of don't, but I get the meaning of the joke, and then I'll remake the joke in English. You know what I mean?
Right. Look
And
at this joke. Right. Look at this joke, for example. I'll say it in Spanish and I'll say it in English.
uh
Eh, el león va donde Tarzán y le dice a Tarzán, Tarzán, tú no tienes que ayudar porque mono, el mono está esperando que todo el mundo se baje a coger el agua. Y cuando cogen agua, se monta por el detrás y se lo mete por detrás. Se lo mete por detrás. Y ahora todos nosotros hablamos así. ¿Qué tú vas a hacer, Tarzán? Y Tarzán dice, no hay problema. Tarzán coge el cuchillo, se lo mete en los pantaloncillos y se va donde el mono que está en el lago. Cuando llega, él resuelve y vuelve. El león ve a Tarzán caminando y el león sonriendo le dice a Tarzán, Tarzán, lo hiciste, ¿verdad? Lo hiciste. Y Tarzán dijo, se me cayó el cuchillo. Okay, I'm going to translate that, right?
okay, good, because I only understood like probably 5% of the words that were in
Okay.
there.
Okay. So the lion approaches Tarzan and he tells Tarzan, hey, Tarzan, you got to do something about this monkey. Every time we bend over to drink some water, the monkey hops in back and fucks us from behind. And now we're all talking like this. You got to do something, Tarzan. Tarzan says, don't worry about that. I got this. So Tarzan grabs his knife and puts it in his underwear, whatever the hell it is that he wears.
Uh-huh.
And he goes down to the lake. And then you see Tarzan walking back. And the lion is excited. You took care of that, right, Tarzan? And Tarzan says, shit, I dropped the knife too. Okay. So there you go. So it could lose the flavor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
It could lose it. It could lose
it. No, it does. It does. There's
Well,
go ahead.
hold on, we got another one. What's the difference between a Ritz and a woman who prefers women? One is a snack cracker, the other is a crack snack.
Was that from Homestead? Was that from Hook It Up?
No, it's from Auntie.
Oh, Auntie. Well, Hook It Up just sent one down there.
Yeah, that was the one with the crack and the prostitute.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's the last one I got. Oh, okay. I guess my thing's on backwards.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna call it a night, guys.
All
We've
right.
been on for 3 hours. I had a wonderful time. I'm extremely happy that so many people showed up today and shared this time with me.
Awesome.
Yeah, let me put my crown on because this is an emotional moment for me. Let me put my crown on. because I am the king. Me and Vegan Kings are kings, and his wife too, because she's Mrs. Vegan Kings. So we're kings. We're royalty. So I had to put on the proper attire. And again, to everyone who came in tonight, really, I'm serious. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And oh wow, I got dubbed Papa Smurf. I'm the king of Smurfs.
I was gonna mention that there's Smurfs on your crown, but you know,
Yeah. So
hey, that's still
guys,
a good
listen,
crown, man.
stay fresh, keep it moist, and stay profitable, y'all. Peace out, y'all. Thanks again. Hey, I'm not gonna get emotional in front of you guys, because what would that
Always,
make me look like?
always a pleasure, Solomon. Thank you, everybody else.
Thank you,
It was good
everybody.
hearing. It was good hearing from everybody.
The king has spoken.